In this latest custom showcase, we're looking at my latest custom, the Abomination. You've been following along on the channel for a while. I've been doing some work on this custom when I did the tutorial with the dry brushing and a few live streams working on this guy. This is something I procrastinated doing for a long time. I've had this head sculpt for probably over a year or longer, and probably actually about as soon as I bought this thing, and fitted it to the body, drilled it out, and it sit really good, and just let it sit on my shelf as it was for the longest time. And my buddy Hulk Smash Customs kept aggravating me, like, finally get around to doing this, so I did. I really like how it turned out. One of the first things I did with this thing was applied a black wash to the entirety of the figure with the main body to add some more depth shadows to the figure. Then I did like a dry brushing of a light green over top of that. It's like I'll put the name of the paint I use for the dry brush on this. And after I got the dry brushing, the green done, I decided to dry brush the chest, detail out more of the spikes and the claws, paint those up. And also so I'd like to go ahead and change the color of the trunks to a dark blue. It's called both the comic book versions have the blue trunks. One has a lighter blue, and another one has dark blue. And I finally painted up the head sculpt. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I did painted up the base green, painted up the ears, detailed the mouth and the eyes. And I did the same dry brushing technique on the head casting. The main reason I did this entire custom project because the comic book Build-A-Figure is just way too dang small. He is tiny in comparison with like this figure and the 80th anniversary Hulk. So Abomination is supposed to be bigger than the Hulk. This Build-A-Figure just was not cutting it. I know this came out before this guy, but even before that, he's too small. This body was fine for the Rhino, which a lot of these parts are used on the Rhino. But the Abomination is bigger than the Hulk. So now I got a big monster Abomination. So you can see both the SDC and the Build-A-Figure on the same bodies, just different paint schemes. Both have blue trunks. So I wanted to capture that with the Build-A-Figure. The main body is of course, the Gamerverse Abomination figure. I bought this complete on eBay when it first came out because most of that wave only wanted a couple of the figures. But when they start putting them on sale, I ended up getting a second one. So it makes it really good for comparison. We have the unpainted, factory painted one with much less paint. And the custom. This thing is beautifully sculpted, got lots of great detail. Except maybe I'd never have liked that head sculpt. But it is a greatly detailed sculpt. But you just don't see it because lack of paint detail. Adding a little bit of paint to the sucker, it really brings it to life. Got nice detailing on the back. All this sculpted detail you just don't see without being picked out with some paint. They got all these spikes. They painted them on the back and some on the head, but nowhere else. They didn't paint the fingernails. It's really, really lacking on paint. One other thing I had to do with this one, when I got it on eBay, the guy selling it didn't disclose, this is the rare, hard to get leg, had a big chunk tore out of the rubber piece. So I had to resculpt that. All the pictures didn't show that, and he didn't disclose it on the auction. But it was easy enough to fix with some epoxy. But the end results, I really like it. I got the faded claws, got all the different spines painted up. Got the Testors wood color, which ended up being a good match to the original spines, and the chest. It's a little bit brighter, adds a little more detail, especially after like with the wash. Darkened up the chest a little bit, then I dry brushed that wood color on it. Really made that pop. That's the same what I use for on the ears too. Had a little extra color there. But all in all, it turned out great. So now I've got a big, bad Abomination the way he should have been. And it matches up size-wise with the Hulk so much better. Seems like, too, this would be a great candidate if Hasbro was going to do a deluxe box version of this. And if I could maybe look at the comic book style head and an alternate head for like for Shang-Chi, the way he looked in that movie. Some alternate fist would be good, too, so we can have claws and fist. Seems like it would be a no-brainer, great release, because he's gotten hard to get a hold of now, especially because that Iron Man figure is hard to get this left leg. With the end results, though, couldn't be happier. It turned out great. Thank you for everyone taking the time to watch the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.